Hey, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And us here at Android Authority, the four of us that are here, are having a great time here in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. But of course, we are here to talk about virtual reality and VR. And they have a great a number of panels and also demos here at Austin, Texas for the ability to not only talk about VR, but also experience it. But a number of the panels that we did go to today were all about how to create stories with virtual reality. And the one that I went to in particular is called Using Virtual Reality to Create Compassion. Now, there's no doubt that virtual reality is essentially a way for you to step into a moment in time and be able to experience everything about it through sound, through an immersive look around the area in a 360 view using 360 video or a photo, of course. And what they're talking about in this particular panel, which was head by Natalie Ebel, who was a director of marketing for Pencils of Promise, Cliff Palmer, who's the president of John Studios. We'll have links for all these people in the description below. But also Gabo Aurora, who is a filmmaker for the UN. And this was a very interesting panel because Gabo in particular was showing and sort of explaining a couple of main examples of how virtual reality was used in order to create sort of a public mindset about various issues that are happening in the world right now. Now, what you saw there was a quick clip that he showed, just sort of showing what it's like from the filmmaker's perspective of actually putting all of these VR cameras out there, and also getting a small glimpse into what it's like to traverse that area and what the people were like in Syria.
There always has to be a sense of reality, even in virtual reality, that hopefully motivates people to do things, not just escape from a problem. Now, there's times where it's helpful. We've had a lot of conversations with folks in just wellness, and people might just be going through, whether it's cancer treatment or something that, while they're in chemo, just put on a pair of goggles and just escape for the moment. But I think as this emerges, we do have to be thinking about, especially young people, as they start getting more and more in virtual reality, that, it's hopefully the stuff that we're doing, again, we're motivating people to get out there and not just escape.
But the other example, and this was one that really spoke to the idea of creating compassion, was a VR presentation that delved into the problems and the somewhat torturous conditions of solitary confinement in prisons and jails.
The content of it is what so drives it. It's narrated by a man who was wrongfully convicted and imprisoned for over 20 years, and the large majority of which he spent in solitary confinement. And at the end of the piece, he says, in these next moments, take off your headset, and in these next moments, you get to take off your headset and return to your daily life. But for over 80,000 Americans, that's not the case. Sign the ACLU's petition to ban youth solitary confinement, and every single person did it. Everyone took off their headset and signed the petition.
So it's easy to think of virtual reality headsets and experiences as new ways of experiencing content, and we usually think about that from the entertainment sense. We have live music venues that show it. We have tourist applications, and then we have gaming, of course, and also movies, of course. So these are all different ways of viewing the same platform, but really VR can also be a way for us to educate the people. And this was a panel that was very much about that, not only educating people about certain causes and issues, but also to have them experience what it is that they might actually be fighting for or fighting against. And I think that's a really profound way of looking at virtual reality outside of the scope of, let's say, what you guys might view VR as at the moment. And I think it's those extra mile and those extra applications of virtual reality that are going to become more and more prevalent and also more important as its lifespan continues. As Darcy says in another video about his panel that he reacted to here at Android Authority, VR is still in its infancy, but it's already an incredibly powerful tool and an incredibly powerful platform. And we only have to just think of it in a number of different ways and a number of different applications in order to make it better than what it is right now. And if we're going to be able to change the world via VR, I think that's a pretty interesting and also very, let's say, profound way of looking at what might be the next big thing in technology. So keep it tuned to Android Authority for even more about virtual reality here at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. Android Authority, of course, is here taking a look at VR, which is the next platform of content creation and content consumption. So we wanted to get our feet wet and actually see virtual reality for all it can be here in Austin, Texas. Keep it tuned here for even more for that and everything else from our colleagues in Android. And you can always subscribe to the channel here and also drop us some likes on these videos because we love to see those thumbs up. We hope you guys are enjoying our coverage of South by Southwest, and we have even more for you because we are your source for all things Android.